Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Thursday, the 3rd of April, 2025. I talked about my book yesterday, Pyramid of Shadows, a Voodoo Globe Chronicle. You can get this book on Amazon. Pretty good book. It's going to be a trilogy. I'm working on book 2 right now. It'll be out here soon. And book 3 will be shortly behind it. I think it's going to be a movie. I think it would be a pretty good movie anyways. But yesterday, I did a video. A lot of my other videos that I did were going viral, 10, 20,000 views. And I mentioned a certain Hillary name, and boom, 10 views, 100 views. They shut that right down. They didn't like me talking about the big Hillary. So today we're going to talk a little bit about something different. You may have heard them in the news over the last, I don't know, however many years, talking about a government shutdown. And I'm not going to lie, I was unaware why that keeps happening. Every year they keep talking about a government shutdown. Every so many months, they're always talking about a government shutdown. And usually what happens with a government shutdown is in the middle of the night, they will pass a bill that's, 10,000, 15,000, or 100,000 pages, and they will push this bill through so that way the government doesn't shut down. Well, what happens when the government shuts down? Well, when the government shuts down, people that are working in the military, government positions, medical programs, Social Security, all of these things stop because they essentially can't pay them if the government is not operating. Okay? So, I was doing some research on, these government shutdowns. And I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but I'm going to share with you that the government is currently $36.1 trillion in debt. So what happens is every time they talk about these government shutdowns, they decide that they're going to raise the debt limit for them to pay for the government to stay open. So that way they can keep operating. So every time there's going to be a government shutdown, they have a vote and pass through these enormous bills with several $1 trillion over the budget of what we're supposed to be spending each year. And like I said, nobody even has time to read these bills, so the money that you're seeing wasted by USAID and Act Blue and all these stuffs most likely is getting passed in these bills. I mean, there's trillions of dollars being wasted, but yet we're 36.1 trillion in debt. So basically, when I researched this, it says in the last 15 years, from 2009 to 2024, the U.S. government raised the debt ceiling multiple times, with the most recent increase in 2021 reaching 31.4 trillion. And then suspending it until January 2nd, 2025, when it was reinstated at 36.1 trillion. So over the course of time, the debt ceiling was raised multiple times to accommodate borrowing during the Great Recession and subsequent economic recovery from 2009 to 2011. In 2011, the Budget Control Act of 2011 raised the debt ceiling by $900 billion and gave the president authority to increase the limit by an additional $1.2 trillion for a total of $2.1 trillion to $16.39 trillion in 2011. In 2013, the debt ceiling was suspended rather than raised directly and then reinstated at $16.7 trillion. In 2021, Congress passed legislation raising the debt limit by $2.5 trillion, which President Biden signed into law December 16th, 2021, bringing the debt limit to $31.4 trillion. So, they just keep raising the debt ceiling. In 2023, the debt ceiling was reached in January of 2023, and after months of debate, lawmakers voted in June of that year to suspend the ceiling until January 1st, 2025. The debt ceiling was reinstated January 2nd, 2025, the level of the national debt outstanding, which was $36.1 trillion. So all they do is just keep adding trillions of dollars that ain't there to the debt ceiling. So that way they can keep paying themselves their $175 to up to $450,000 salaries and put tons of money into lobbying through Act Blue, USAID, where they say they're going to give tons of money to other countries like Israel and Ukraine and whatnot and so forth. But they don't actually give that money away to these people. As we've seen, they're laundering it into their own pockets. The Democrats are stealing trillions and trillions of your dollars. So another thing that I wanted to talk about on that same note, okay, I asked over the last 60 years, how much has the cost of living in the United States gone up? And it said 975.20% in 60 years. Okay? It's went up almost 1,000% in 60 years. Okay? That is huge. So if you take $10 and you add $1,000 to it, that's $1,010. Okay? That's huge. And I'm thinking to myself, man, that's a hell of an increase. That's why when you look at $100,000 in 1933, that same money in 2025 is worth $1.8 million. You kind of gather what we're saying here. But then you ask it this weird question, how much has the wage growth in the United States gone up in the last 60 years? And that is 6.17%. I'll let you take a minute and soak that in. 6.17%. When the cost of everything around you has went up by 1,000%, your wages to pay for that stuff has only went up 6.17%. According to this, the average worker in 2018 was making between $20 and $22.65 an hour. But yet the cost of living, as I just told you, went up 975.20%. No wonder people are losing their houses at an alarming rate. They can't afford their vehicles. They can't afford food. They cannot afford to live in the United States. Why? Because we've elevated our government to be rich a-holes and collect all of our tax dollars and waste it on whatever they want while we sit here and struggle to live. I'm tired of it. I don't know about you people, but I am tired of it. There is no reason that our wages should be down or up in their eyes to 6.1%, and the cost of living is up 1,000%. No one can afford to live. That's just my take on it. Let me know what your thoughts are. It's absolutely ridiculous. You can look all this up. Grok on X will tell you. You can ask Google, which I know Google's not 100% accurate, but you can get these numbers. You can get these numbers from anywhere and look them up. Another thing that I want to tell you about, on X, I said the word, I can't even say it because I'll get banned on TikTok. It's the F word for describing a gay person. And I got an email from X saying that I was going to be banned if I used that kind of language. So they say there's free speech everywhere, but I don't see it. YouTube censored my video yesterday because I mentioned Hillary, you know her last name, and her daughter and the amount of money they stole. So I got like 10 views on it, and I have 150,000 subscribers. So if that tells you anything, they are censoring people. You do not have free speech, and they are stealing your money. So we'll see you on the next video. I hope you guys enjoy this. Have a good day.